This one argument really frustrates me when it comes to cold exposure, especially amongst the crowd in social media. Is cold exposure good for recovery, or is cold exposure bad for recovery? And there's always arguments about whether it's good or it's bad, but that removes the context of specificity and why people might use cold exposure in means to recovery. There is plenty of evidence that suggests that we can use water immersion to improve perceived recovery, to reduce things like delayed onset of muscle soreness, to bring down levels of creatine kinase, to increase power within the space of 24 hours. However, there are detriments to cold exposure when it comes to things like strength or muscle gain. So that means that we can actually still use colder exposure, but it means that we have to apply it within the specific times. Let's take, for example, if you have a rugby player who's going through preseason, and the goal of preseason is to put as much bulk on as possible because they're a forward and they need to be heavier. Then it's probably not ideal for them to be using cold water immersion. However, if it's at the end of the season, their body's feeling pretty battered, they're feeling fatigued, then we could use cold water immersion to increase their perceived recovery, which might allow them psychologically to perform better over the last few games, which could be the difference between winning and losing.